Boyfriend moved in with me to another state and immediately cheated. By December 2022, I had been with my 30 female boyfriend, 30 male for a year, and we decided to move in together, but to a new state to be closer to his family. We moved on January 1st and left the state my family is in for this new state. As far as I was aware, our relationship was wonderful and we were on an exciting adventure. Then, I had a weird feeling one day, and on February 8th I found dating apps on his phone. It was my first time ever checking his phone, and oh boy, he admitted it but said he'd change. This is my first ever relationship, so I am naive. I forgave. Then I lost my job on April 27th, and I've fallen into a deep depression. On May 7th I had a weird feeling and went through his phone. He was Snapchatting into a random woman, and in his email I found he had created a dating profile on December 29th, right before we moved. Yikes. I decided to forgive again, but told him I'm leaving for the summer and he agreed. I packed all my stuff, which weirded him out, but I knew deep down I needed to prepare for the worst just in case. I left on May 20th. In 10 minutes into my drive, I got a call from someone he works with who is also a friend. Turns out he's been hooking up with a 19-year-old girl the whole time we've been here. So I'm in a hotel room with my dog, decided I've had enough and I am done. His friends found out about the cheating and have all reached out to me to see if I'm okay. His sister and ex-wife have reached out too. On Friday I'll be breaking up with him over the phone. I'm not ready quite yet, but I'm on my way to a better life and to live with a close friend. Please wish me luck because at 30 this is my first breakup and it's traumatic as hell. Stay strong out there. How to think about this. Backstory: for a couple of months I had been feeling something was off with my fiancé. Longer time spent drinking with colleagues after work, less affection, weird comments, a desire to buy expensive new clothing out of character for him, change in grooming habits, secretive way of handling his phone, and the sorts. About 1 month into this gut feeling, I confronted him asking if he was into anyone at work, and he vehemently denied it. I told him it was okay if this was the case, and that we could discuss it. He said there was nothing to discuss, but I couldn't shake the feeling that something was off. I let another month pass by, in which I asked for reassurance, more time spent together, and better communication, but he more or less continued as before with minor changes in behavior. 3 months into the gut feeling, one night I get an overwhelming urge to check his phone. Tried to talk myself out of it, but the instinct was so powerful that I caved. Found evidence of an E between him and a work colleague. Text showed that same night they had a fight where he left her in the middle of the street, which made her really angry, so she called him about 20 times afterwards, missed calls. I woke him up and confronted him. Many sleepless hours ensued. She's a work colleague. Chased him for a couple of months before he started noticing her. Texts corroborated with that. She was very into him, and he started liking her back at one point. That night when I discovered the texts, he had told her he doesn't want to continue with what they were doing and left her there being on the way to the tube station from the place where they had Friday evening drinks with colleagues. This is his version. Texts only show he left her there after an argument of some kind, and she called a freak ton of times where he didn't answer. The extent of the cheating was texting intimately for about 2 to 3 months. I miss you, wanna kiss my kitty, thinking of you, etc. Nothing more bleepule. At least from what I saw, kissing started 2 weeks prior to day. Kissed about 5 times during lunch breaks, hanging out with other colleagues after work where they shared stories and complimented each other, etc. A date in disguise IMO. He says they did not have bleep, and I do believe him just because I think I can spot it when he's lying. I know I cannot be 100% sure. This is just my intuition plus what he says plus the vibe of the texts. But he told her he was in love with her. Later, he identified that as infatuation or limerence, not love. But those are the words he wrote, spoke to her. Immediately upon being confronted, he said he will do anything to take this back. That he's sorry, but it just happened to him and could not control it. That he never wants to be with her and wants me, and this is why he had just told her that night he wanted to cut it, etc., etc. As with all stories, there is more nuance, but I will stop since I don't want this to become a novel. I'm very conflicted about how to deal with this. Very long time together, formative years as well plus 10 years. Went through a lot together. We were each other's first love. I was madly in love with him and do not think I could ever feel something similar again. Maybe I could love again, but that intensity could never repeat. That intensity carried both of us through major challenges, not relationship related, just life. We both had to compromise a lot in the beginning, as we have very different personality types, but we found a balance and we are usually in sync. Or so I thought. We were planning on buying a house and starting a family within the next 1 to 2 years. There were some red flags before. He craves attention and validation, but he's very slow to admit it. He is quite handsome, and there were 2 instances in our past that I know of where he did not set a clear boundary when being approached by women. We discussed those then, and he tends to victimize himself. He knew that I had an issue with how he enjoys attention but has poor boundaries. We are very attached, to the point I am asking myself if we are codependent. I've started looking into it and cannot tell yet. Went to CC 3 times, he was very participative and engaged, but we dropped it because the psychotherapist was not an infidelity trained one and we figured she did not know what she was doing. Was more harmful than helpful. He never did and does not do IC. I used to be in IC, picked it up again after D-Day, and now I am taking a break again. I was quite happy before this thing started, a couple of months ago. He says he was as well. Are we lying to ourselves? Don't know. All our plans are on hold for now. I cannot look at him quite the same. Surely I still have love for him, and somehow I even have empathy and feel sorry for what he's going through. However, I feel like we had something pure and he soiled it, and we'll never be able to go back to the kind of blissful complicity we shared. How do I overcome this confusion? I tried listening to my gut on what to do, and really cannot decipher next steps. How does one think about this? My partner 28 male cheated on me 27 female and now wants both of us in his life. I can't forgive and forget. Leaving him is hard and staying is much harder. I found out that my partner had profile on Instagram which he made specifically for bleeping women. He told me he is a porn addict and the reason he's using the profile is to help girls whose videos and photos are leaked. That didn't seem plausible to me. He also mentioned that he bleeps other women cause it gives him relief from his work pressure, etc. I asked him why can't he try therapy and he said because of money. I was willing to work on our relationship and I gave him second chance. I again found out stuff on his laptop and also one night we had bleep and the next day I found out that he messaged I love you to another woman he met online on some website. There were times when my gut feelings told me he's lying and cheating. I was asking him if this woman he's talking to if he's seeing her and he said she's a school friend. He lied to me. When I found out his lies and cheating, he said he'll stop talking to her. He texted her saying he has a girlfriend and he can't continue talking to her. He also told me he didn't mean it when he said I love you to her and he said it because she has cardiology problem. She said I love you to him first and she never experienced love before and he wanted to give her experience of love. Recently, 3 days ago, I found out that they are still in touch. He went to his hometown recently and he met her in person. He had saved her contact name as his male name. They used to also share pictures with each other. I saw one message of him to her where he said can't talk to you cause she's here. When I confronted him all this, he said they are talking as friends and they didn't feel like being honest with me cause they were scared of my reaction. I spoke to that woman also and she said he told her that he can't marry me cause I was bleeped and hadn't bleep. I met him in a very vulnerable situation and I feel like stabbed in my heart multiple times. He asked me not to believe her. He said she's very orthodox with her beliefs and his beliefs like bleep after marriage. That woman also said to me that she's not accountable to answer my questions. I tried explaining her that she was a part of his lie. She knew he's lying to me and she chose to still stay with him and if they were friends and if there was nothing to hide then they could have been honest with me. He met her and her mother in hospital when that woman came to his hometown for checkup. She said the meet was unplanned, but it's so hard for me to trust them anymore. The whole point which I tried explaining both of them was lying and hiding things from me. I met him when I was undergoing bleep due to bleep. I have been diagnosed with PTSD and major depression for which I take medication. I'm also deeply hurt because he shared all about this with that woman, that I have depression and I'm on medications. When I asked him why he shared all this with him, initially he said because I share about him with my friends, but I shared about how he lied to me and cheated on me. I was seeking support from my friends. When I told him I'm deeply hurt, then he said he shared about me to her cause he wanted to give her an idea of my situation and mental health. Right now I'm hurting deeply and feel like he has killed me multiple times. I tried cutting him off completely, but it's so hard. I asked him what exactly he wants and he said he has hurt me and her. He said he wants to continue friendship with her where they will keep checking work progress of each other and he also doesn't want to lose me. His point is that one day we are going to depart cause we are not going to marry as his parents want accept a girl from other religion but she is his friend and she don't want to lose her. I'm hurting badly. He's choosing her over me. If he chooses her then I can't really stay with him cause their lies are telling me something else. I can't stay and I can't leave. If they are really friends then why couldn't they be honest? I remember telling him first time I found out his lies that even if he murders someone and come to me and is honest about it then I'll forgive but he chose to lie. I keep feeling suicidal all time and I feel so betrayed that I'm losing trust in humanity itself. What should I really do now? This is so hard. I have so much anger and pain inside me. He asked me to channelize my anger into productive things. He said past can't be changed. I do agree past can't be changed, but it seems both of them are wearing past can't be changed, move forward cloth and feeding me bullshit when all I'm feeling is like dying. It feels as if my pain is invalid.
Make sure and subscribe.